What is up, star seeds? I am Sydalexandria, and today we are going to be talking about how children understand that death is not the end. They just do. I would love to do a video in the future about kids remembering past lives as well, but I think that might just be a whole other video. I just want to say, from just a person, a human being in general who has interacted with kids, yet alone a mother myself, and yet alone someone who works in a childcare setting, so I see lots of kids and I see the early signs of them remembering certain past lives. I had a kid in my class one time who loved the color yellow so much, by far his favorite color, before he was 2, and then when he had just turned 2, yellow was his favorite color, point blank, period. Now he is like 4, yellow is not his favorite color anymore. When they're 2 years old, that is when so much stuff comes out, generally, like also 1 years old, 3 years old, and sure, it can be beyond, it can be 4 years old, but for him specifically, and for most kids, it's right around the time when they're 2 that there is so much about past lives. And me, being who I am, tapping into past lives, especially past lives in other star systems, the easiest. I don't know what the heck kind of being this kid was, but his most prominent past life or lives was as this yellow being who looked kind of star-like shaped, but I don't know how to describe it. Like really tall, really yellow, and like everything there was yellow. So it was just so clear to me that that's why yellow was his favorite color, because he was one of these yellow beings. Not sure where, not sure when, to be honest, but this was like his most prominent past life by far, this like weird starseed life, right? So it was amazing to me that he was just literally all about yellow. Like that was his personality, was I love yellow, and now he likes red and these other colors as well. But I just thought that was so cool. But so this point of how kids they don't understand death because they know it's not the end, and how they do understand death because they know it's not the end, right? It's kind of a contradiction, but it makes sense. So like there's this whole process of learning about death for kids on Earth, because it's different on Earth, because I mean, one, we don't choose it in these other high vibe places, which we'll get into in my next video, but how like it's weird because they kind of forget, you know, source and oneness and the truth that even when like a soul leaves its current body, it goes to this realm, it experiences heaven and hell and the spectrum of that, and then it reincarnates into another life in another body. And so death isn't the end, it's only transformation. And so they still remember this universal truth, but they're thrown onto a planet where it seems like death is the end. And although some parents are like, it's not the end, but it's still weird for them to rationalize that, like, oh, they're not asleep, they're dead, or things like that. Like if a kid sees a dead bug, a lot of the times if they're 1 or 2 or 3 years old, they think it's sleeping, things like this. But I just want to kind of point out that I had this realization that is because they understand that death isn't the end. That's why it confuses them. Like that's why these advanced subjects for kids, they understand it in a different way. Like they don't understand the full capacity of, like, you can't hurt something really bad because then they might die. Like they don't fully grasp that until they're older, but it's just because they understand it even more than we do. Even the simple common thing of kids not wanting to share toys or not understanding why they have to share toys with their peers or with their classmates or whoever is because they come from abundance. Kids like parallel play before they play together because they come from these own individual lives and identities. For one, infants and kids don't automatically share most of the time because they come from lives of abundance where they don't have to share. They come from these high vibe places where if you want something, boom, you got it. There's no need to share the ball or share the doll or whatever it is. So that's why infants just automatically are kind of possessive over certain things because they come from abundance where everyone has their own thing. That's just kind of my spiritual take on this, and I know I can see it in other sides and from other angles as well, but in this video I wanted to share this side and this angle because I thought it was interesting. And if you would like an Akashic Records reading from me, please email me at sydalexandriaegypt@gmail.com. Peace out.